What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash. Welcome back to the channel. And today we've got some very sad news because we just found out that a former WWE superstar has passed away, which I will be talking about later on in today's video. But the intriguing news is that we do have something very interesting, including the latest on a former WWE superstar considering a return, possibly to WWE or possibly to another promotion, and then a WWE star most likely leaving WWE despite getting a major push in NXT, which, if you haven't guessed yet, I think you might know. And then a injured WWE superstar says that they may have to retire. Who is it? You never know. We'll find out. But we kick this off with former WWE superstar Shad Gaspard. If you don't know Shad Gaspard, I suggest watching Crime Time. A lot of Crime Time's matches on the WWE Network because their big push, was at SummerSlam in 2009, and this right here actually proves that I was actually there. I was there inside the Staples Center. And if my memory serves me right, so they challenged Jericho, Big Show, and Chris Jericho for what was then known as the Unified Tag Team titles. Shad Gaspard and JTG actually competed for the titles on that night. Despite the loss, they were. There we go. Had to move my camera up a bit. Anyway, despite the loss, they were one of the most entertaining tag teams in all of WWE, and we found out that actually he went missing on Sunday. He went missing on Sunday. No one knew about it. But according to Wrestle Talk, shoutouts to Andy Datson from Wrestle Talk, WWE has issued a statement after the LA County coroners confirmed that a body found on Venice Beach this morning was that of former WWE superstar Shad Gaspard. So Shad went missing. Shad went missing on Sunday after being caught in a riptide while swimming with his 10-year-old son, Ari. I don't know how to pronounce the name. His son was thankfully rescued and was uninjured. WWE has released the following statement. So they posted on Twitter, on their social account, and also on WWE.com. It says that WWE is saddened to learn that the former superstar Shad Gaspard has passed away at the age of 39. So that's pretty young. That's pretty fucking young. Damn. Gaspard had gone missing while swimming with his son at Venice Beach in California on May 17th. So obviously this past Sunday. In his final act, Gaspard instructed lifeguards to save his son's life. So he basically sacrificed himself for his own son. So that takes some balls. That takes a lot of balls. So Gaspard was best known in WWE as one half of Crime Time with JTG. The fan-favorite duo memorably joined forces with John Cena during his 2008 rivalry with JBL and competed for the WWE Tag Team titles at SummerSlam 2009, which, your boy was there. Shad and JTG would later square off in heated fashion after a falling out in 2010. So if I remember right, Crime Time hardly got any pushes at all, and if I remember right, Shad was actually was a bit, I guess, a little upset about it. He was a little frustrated, and so he decided to turn heel, and it was bad. It was just bad. And if I remember right, he actually ended up leaving WWE in 2011, if I remember right, if my memory serves me right. Continuing on with the statement, before entering the square circle, Gaspard played basketball at Georgia Perimeter College. He was also a former bodyguard for P. Diddy, Britney Spears, and Mike Tyson. And admired by friends and colleagues for his warmth and humor, Gaspard was no stranger to heroic deeds. In 2016, he broke up an armed robbery in Coral Springs, what was it, Florida? I believe Florida. Coral Springs, Florida, I guess. Pinning the suspect to the ground until police arrived. Gaspard was also a multi-talented individual, creating his own graphic novel and acting in several TV shows and films, including Brothers and Think Like a Man 2. Honestly, though, you know what? I don't even know what to say. I swear, I don't even know what to say because, Crime Time was one of my all-time favorite tag teams. When I first started watching WWE in 2005, 2006, and I think honestly one of them I think their best segments. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. But for me personally, I think my favorite segment involving Crime Time was when they sold tickets, front row tickets to a Raw Manchester show to DX, because if I remember right, John the Coachman, when he was running Raw for a few weeks or so, Coach actually banned DX from the whole building, and Crime Time was just there, and they were looking for and they actually hooked DX up with some tickets. And what's interesting, if you guys watch that segment on the WWE Network, the one thing that I found hilarious was the fact that Shawn Michaels was speaking their language, which I found hilarious. Which I found really hilarious, but of course too, in Manchester, in the UK, the currency, the money, the money currency was a little different from here in Cali. I think they use what was called pounds. Pounds, I think it is, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so they paid Crime Time a lot of money, like literally a briefcase full of money, which I think was the bounty on DX, basically. But yeah, honestly though, Crime Time, one of the most entertaining tag teams of all time. I actually sent out a tweet earlier this morning. Obviously sending my condolences to Shad's family. Honestly, though, I really do hope that Crime Time gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, despite what happened to them, despite the falling now, they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. So, question of the day: do you guys think Crime Time should be in the Hall of Fame? Let me know in the comments below using the hashtag Hall of Fame, and let me know what you guys think. Comment below using that hashtag and answer the question of the day. Honestly, though, honestly, my heart goes out to his family, especially his son. It's heartbreaking, honestly. I just don't know. I'm flabbergasted right now, to be honest. Alright, you guys. With that being said, the superstar, as a rumor, former WWE superstar considering a return. Who is that superstar? Well, it's none other than former cruiserweight champion Drew Gulak. Shoutouts to Nate. That's all there is to it, honestly. So shoutouts to Nate from Wrestle Talk. It was revealed last week Drew Gulak's contract expired, and he chose not to re-sign with WWE. The rumored reason for his unwillingness to resign was the fact that WWE wouldn't give him a raise on his contract. Quite the unique reason, I'll say. Because his contract expired, he doesn't have a non-compete clause. Some are speculating that he could even be the mystery man in AEW's ladder match at Double or Nothing. However, it is now being reported that Gulak is still negotiating with WWE and would still be open to returning if WWE will reconsider a pay raise. Brian Alvarez revealed on the Wrestling Observer Radio, saying, quote, "We have an update as of a moment ago. Gulak's contract expired after Friday's show. Both sides have not reached a deal on the money. The belief is he is gone, but it has been hinted to Dave that it's not a dead issue. He is being represented by Barry Bloom in his negotiations. So it does appear that Drew Gulak is interested in returning if he gets a good deal." He added, "The story going around is essentially that he asked for a raise and they said no, and they pulled the offer that they had originally offered. It was something along those lines. It was definitely a money situation where the basic situation is that they are not giving any raises right now, which I guess understandable because they cut so many people. Yeah, so obviously because of what was going on in the world as of now, especially here in California, there are rumors because that we are now stable in terms of the virus cases, basically, the cases and whatnot. Supposedly, the entire state of California is supposed to be reopened in July. So if that does happen, you can bet your ass I'm calling out WWE. WWE, I'm calling you out. Hit me up. Hit me up. My DMs on Twitter, my DMs on Instagram are open. Links are down below. Follow me there. Hit me up. Hit me up. I will work WWE backstage. I am not bullshitting. I'm not. I swear, I am not bullshitting. My expression speaks for itself. I am not bullshitting. But continuing on, Gulak not sticking around seemed to come out of nowhere, given the bit of push he's been getting in recent times, aligning himself with Daniel Bryan. Of course, asking for a raise during a pandemic might not be the smartest move. Yeah, not a wise move for Drew Gulak. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Drew Gulak is one hell of an athlete. He became cruiserweight champion after being on 205 Live for such a long period of time. I think 4 years, 4 or 5, I think 4, maybe 5 years at least. And and after so long, he finally becomes cruiserweight champion, only for him to lose the title to Leo Rush, which honestly that was an incredible match. If you guys didn't see it, you guys definitely should. Okay, I just want to see. Is that Ronda Rousey? Okay, there's an ad on Wrestle Talk's website. There's an ad for World of Warcraft, and it looks like Ronda Rousey is on the cover. That's kind of cool. Okay, I just laughed. But yeah, so again, honestly though, I think Drew Gulak coming back to WWE, best move. He deserves to be in WWE. Despite despite the loss from this past Friday in that Intercontinental Championship tournament, I think honestly though, he deserves to stay in WWE. Honestly. All right, you guys. That being said, now we're gonna look at a WWE star likely leaving the business despite a push in NXT. And if you haven't guessed already, yes, it is indeed Drake Maverick. Shoutouts to Andy Datson. Drake was one of the nearly 30 WWE stars let go on quote-unquote Black Wednesday just over a month ago. The slight spanner in the works here was that Drake had just been announced as a participant in the NXT Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. Obviously, because that Jordan Devlin, the current champion, can't defend it as of yet because of the pandemic. Unfortunately, we have to crown a interim champion, which I'm okay with. and fans were confused as to whether he would still be taking part. Drake revealed in the aforementioned video that he would indeed be taking part in the tournament, and that unless he won, it would likely be the last time we would see him in a WWE ring. He faces Kushida tonight. So right now, so as of now, tonight he faces Kushida, and if he wins, then he will move on in the tournament. But if he loses, he's done. He's done. So again, yeah. And unless he wins, he will not be moving forward in the tournament. However, NXT and WWE appear to have been giving Drake a huge push, with the latest indication of this being this video. So basically, okay, so if you guys saw WWE's video, which is called The Unbreakable Dreams of Drake Maverick, if you guys saw it, he was given the papers for his release, and unless he wins, he even admitted that he's not going to open it. He's not going to open it unless if he doesn't advance in the tournament. Alright, so continuing on, surely they can't still be thinking of releasing him after this. He's the biggest babyface in the world. Well, according to Cage Side Seats, the feeling in WWE is that Drake will still be released even after all of this build, which seems incredible. The former Rockstar Spud, yes, he was once known as Rockstar Spud in TNA, has proved time and time again that he will do amazing things in whatever roles he's in, so letting him go would appear to be a huge mistake. Given that it's WWE, a final decision will likely not be made until the last minute, but as of now, we're still saying goodbye to Drake Maverick. Yeah, so honestly though, I think honestly, it doesn't surprise me the fact that he could potentially leave. But again, for tonight in the tournament, he faces Kushida, one of the toughest dudes out there. He's a former, if you guys don't know Kushida, he's a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. He's won it several times actually, if I remember right. He is a submission specialist. He knows submission like the back of his hand. And if Drake Maverick loses tonight, he's done. He's not only is he out of the tournament, but he's done with WWE. If he wins tonight, odds are he will advance, but at the same time, he could still be released either way. So either way, for Drake, it's a lose-lose situation. It's a lose-lose situation for Drake Maverick, so it really doesn't matter what he does. But honestly, though, I think, but seeing Drake Maverick compete in the ring has been awesome because he even admitted that he wanted to, what'd you call it? He wanted to compete in the ring instead of being a GM for 205 Live. So obviously, yes, he, truth be told, he became a phenomenal, pardon the pun, but a phenomenal general manager of 205 Live, one of the best general managers we had seen in a long time. And it's crazy. It's crazy, but honestly though, I think, damn dog. That dog needs to shut up. Anyway, yeah, again, I don't even know what to say. Honestly though, I think if this is indeed the last time we see Drake Maverick, honestly, I think, honestly, this could very may well be his biggest challenge. And if he wins, he advances, but he could potentially get fired. He could still be released. You never know. You never know. Alright, you guys. Now, a WWE star who's been injured since yesteryear says that they may have to retire. Who is it? None other than Ember Moon. One of the biggest crimes committed by WWE in the past couple years is the lack of main roster push for Ember Moon. who is quite easily one of the top five most talented women on Raw and SmackDown. So shoutouts to Andy Datson for this article. Moon has been a little more than an enhancement talent, putting in great performances to get over more push stars, and since injuring her Achilles tendon in September last year, hasn't been seen. Moon appeared on last night's WWE Backstage and admitted that her injury could be severe enough to force her into an early retirement. She stated, quote, "I look back at my career in WWE. I've been here 5 years. Yet 5 years. Yeah, I could say I should have been the one to defeat Asuka's streak, or I hoped that. I could say, oh man, me and Bayley from SummerSlam, I wish I'd done more. The more and more I sit back and look at everything I've done and would redo, I think about my injury currently, realizing that I may have a career-ending injury. I'm not coming back from the hardest... sorry. I'm coming back from the hardest injury, and I might not have a chance to redeem myself of all the things I wanted to do, and I want to do in my future. So it's hard to think back and regret when I try to look forward." She also stated as well, saying, quote, "I keep looking forward and pushing forward because this is what I love. This is my passion. This is the only thing I've ever wanted for myself, and I want that opportunity to not look back, but to look forward and be better than ever before. So it's hard to look back. It really is. I hope that I do have more matches. I'm going to prove to you guys that I'm worth redeeming those mistakes and those regrets. It's just going to be a while before I do so. It would be a massive shame if this injury was to spell the end for Moon's career, as she has never been able to show what she can do on the main roster." Yeah, so she's been out with a couple injuries since being on the main roster. But actually, she has yet to become a Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion, and the only reason why, from what I understand, is apparently her husband. From what I know, she is married, and apparently her husband does not like WWE. From what I understand, I'm not so sure if those rumors are true, but honestly, though, Ember Moon is one of the toughest women in WWE. Having held the NXT Women's Championship for a good few months. Honestly, though, it's if she does have to go into an early retirement, it is a damn shame, because she could have done more. She's right. She is right. She could have done more. But honestly, it's a shame. It is a damn shame. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My links are down in the description below. And I know that I did put this on hold, but if you guys have any fan mail that you want to send me, my address is also in the description below. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.